Today I'm going to teach you how to paddleboard. I'm Sue Cooper with Lazy Dog Adventures down here in Key West, Florida. We have taught thousands of people how to paddleboard, and so I'm going to give you the little instruction that we give before we actually head out on the water down here at Lazy Dog. So the first thing, and this is one thing that I have to say a lot of places don't do, so this is super important. Your paddle. Before you get going, you should get sized up for a paddle. And what that means is you want a paddle that's going to work for your height. Okay, so in this case, the best thing to do is you ask somebody or yourself or whoever to put your arm up like you're asking a question. You want the handle to come to the bottom of your wrist, okay, just like that. Now, a lot of rental places will have adjustable, so you can actually adjust it to fit your size. This happens to be my personal paddle, so this one is sized for me. Now, the other thing with your paddle, if you look, there is a bit of an angle. What you want when you're paddling, you don't want to be cupping the water back. You're actually going to be paddling out that way with it angled out, okay? And then you want your hands, if you look at your elbows, you want your elbows about 90 degrees, okay? That's where you don't want your hands too close, because then it's going to feel like it's oversized. It's kind of heavy and awkward. So every now and then while you're out paddling, just check your grip, because over time, as you're switching sides, your hands will tend to get closer and closer together, okay? The way we do it here at Lazy Dog, we actually launch you right from the dock. So whether you're standing in water or whether you're on a dock, I always recommend that you kneel first. Don't start by just standing on the board and pushing yourself off. So a leash, this is super important. This can go around either ankle. That way, if you fall in, you're just pulling the board back to you rather than going to swim after it in the current and the waves, okay? So I'm going to slide this on my ankle. And then you can see that there's a handle in the middle of the board right here. This is going to be where you want your weight. So whether you're sitting, standing, or kneeling, you always want your weight in the middle. Again, as you're paddling out today, you want to make sure that that's something that you're always adjusting, as well as your hands. So we start you here on your knees. The board is always going to be more stable when it's moving. So you actually want to go ahead, and once you launch out, you want to just take a couple strokes, get used to the stability of the board, and then when you're ready, you're going to put both hands down and stand right up and get that paddle in the water as soon as you can and get the board moving. That way you've got the stability. If you just stand up and you just kind of do this, and the board's not moving, you'll feel a little unstable. So you want to get the board moving, even if it's just a little bit, okay? And then once you're ready, you want the paddle stroke is actually out in front of you, back to your feet, okay? If you go back behind your feet, you're actually going to slow yourself down and the board will drag. So the paddle stroke is all in front of you, okay? And then if you look, I'm actually not bending my elbows, okay? All the power is just coming from me hinging forward. Okay, and then when you need to switch sides, you want to switch your upper hand. This is a mistake a lot of beginners make. They do this and then they do this, okay? So always switch your hand when you need to switch sides, okay? Now, if you happen to fall off the board, it's like getting out of a pool without a ladder. I wouldn't panic, especially if you have a life jacket on. You should always have it on or just under the straps here. Also, bring your water. Definitely always bring water out there. But yeah, getting onto the board, you just want to kick like you're getting out of a pool without a ladder, and then just kind of flop onto the board from there. And then take a couple paddles, get the board moving, stand back up, okay? Now, if you get tired out there, because a lot of times beginners will feel it in their toes. Your toes feel a little numb, or your arches. So I go barefooted, but sometimes if you feel like it, you have Tevas or Olakais, something with some good arch support, you can always paddle with your shoes on. That way you've got that extra arch support, and that should help you from the numbness on your toes. But if you get tired out there, you just, sit right back down. You can sit or kneel, however you want to do it. Sit on your bum if you want. But if you do that, you want to go ahead and just do the same stroke that I was just explaining to you, except you don't have to have your hand up here. So if you're going to sit down, you want to choke down on the paddle, and it's basically just like that, same stroke, okay? And then switch sides when you need to. That's it. Paddleboarding is a lot easier than it looks. So you definitely want to give it a try. It's really fun. For us here in Key West, the water is really clear, so by standing up we can actually see a lot more sea life in the water. So I hope you get out and enjoy, and we hope to see you here in Key West. Check us out at lazydog.com.